Have you ever noticed? The hardest part isn't dreaming. It isn't setting goals. It isn't even knowing what to do. The hardest part is doing the same thing tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. You tell yourself, this time will be different. You buy the notebook. You download the productivity app. You watch another motivational video. You promise yourself, Monday is my fresh start. Then Monday arrives. You wake up feeling motivated. You make your bed. You drink water. You open your laptop. For a moment, you actually believe this is the beginning of a new life. Then your phone buzzes. One notification. One message. One quick look. 5 minutes become 30. 30 minutes become 2 hours. By lunchtime, your focus is gone. By evening, your motivation has disappeared. And before you go to sleep, you whisper the same sentence you've repeated hundreds of times. I'll start again tomorrow. Sound familiar? If it does, you're not alone. Millions of people fight this battle every single day. They blame themselves. They call themselves lazy, undisciplined, weak. But what if none of those labels are true? What if the real problem isn't your willpower? What if your brain has been trained to crave distraction instead of progress? Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Your biggest enemy isn't failure. It isn't fear. It isn't lack of talent. It's the constant need for instant pleasure. Every time you unlock your phone, every time you scroll social media, every time you choose entertainment over effort, your brain learns something. It learns that rewards should come instantly, that discomfort should be avoided, that patience isn't necessary. Over time, this becomes your default setting. The scary part? You don't even notice it happening. Imagine your brain as a path through a forest. The first time you walk through it, the journey is difficult, but every time you take the same path, it becomes easier, wider, more automatic. Your habits work exactly the same way. Every time you choose distraction, you're strengthening that pathway. Every time you avoid difficult work, you're teaching your brain that comfort is the safest option. Eventually, you don't even make the decision anymore. Your brain makes it for you. That's why consistency feels impossible. Not because you can't change, but because you've unknowingly trained yourself not to. And there's one chemical behind this invisible prison, a chemical that shapes your decisions before you're even aware of them. It's called dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the happiness chemical. That's not true. Dopamine isn't about happiness. It's about anticipation. It's your brain saying, that felt good. Let's do it again. Maybe the next reward will be even better. Thousands of years ago, this system helped humans survive, finding food, escaping danger, exploring new places. Dopamine pushed our ancestors toward actions that kept them alive. But today, the world has changed. Your brain hasn't. Now, the same system that once protected you can quietly keep you trapped. Because your brain can't always tell the difference between a meaningful reward and a meaningless one. To your brain, a notification, a like, a funny video, a bag of chips, they all trigger the same reward system. The reward is immediate. The effort is almost zero. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous. Because every time your brain gets a reward without effort, real work feels a little harder. Studying becomes boring.possible. Not because those things changed, but because your brain has become addicted to shortcuts. An addiction doesn't always look like drugs. Sometimes it looks like checking your phone every 5 minutes. Sometimes it looks like refreshing your notifications even when nothing has changed. Sometimes it looks like spending 6 hours online and wondering why your dreams never move forward. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you controlling your brain, or is your brain controlling you? Because once you understand the answer, everything begins to change. Reading feels slow. Going to the gym feels painful. Building a business seems impossible. Not because those things changed, but because your brain has become addicted to shortcuts. And addiction doesn't always look like drugs. Sometimes it looks like checking your phone every 5 minutes. Sometimes it looks like refreshing your notifications even when nothing has changed. Sometimes it looks like spending 6 hours online and wondering why your dreams never move forward. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you controlling your brain, or is your brain controlling you? Because once you understand the answer, everything begins to change. The dopamine trap. Why you can't stay consistent, why your brain chooses comfort over success every morning. You wake up with two versions of yourself. The first version is ambitious. It wants to build the business, get in shape, read more books, learn new skills, become financially free. It sees the future. It imagines the person you could become. But there's another version, a quieter one, a stronger one. It whispers, sleep a little longer. You deserve a break. Start tomorrow. Just watch one more video. And before you even realize what's happening, that voice wins. Not because it's smarter, not because it's right, but because it's familiar. Your brain is designed to protect you from discomfort. It doesn't care about your dream body. It doesn't care about your YouTube channel. It doesn't care about your future income. It cares about one thing: saving energy. Thousands of years ago, conserving energy meant survival. If our ancestors wasted energy for no reason, they risked starvation. So the human brain evolved to avoid unnecessary effort whenever possible. The problem is, your brain still follows those ancient rules, even though the world has completely changed. Today, you don't need to hunt for food. You don't need to run from predators. The greatest battles happen inside your own mind. And your brain still thinks comfort equals safety. That's why every meaningful goal feels uncomfortable. Starting a business feels risky. Going to the gym feels exhausting. Learning a new skill feels frustrating. Speaking in public feels terrifying. Not because you're incapable, but because your brain interprets uncertainty as danger. Think about it. Have you ever opened your phone without even deciding to? You unlock it. Open Instagram. Close it. Then open it again less than a minute later. You weren't looking for anything. You were looking for a feeling. A tiny hit of dopamine. That's how habits are formed. Not through one big decision, but through thousands of tiny repetitions. Every notification teaches your brain this is rewarding. Every hour spent scrolling teaches your brain this is normal. Eventually, distraction becomes automatic. Focus becomes difficult. And discipline starts to feel impossible. Now imagine two people. The first person spends 5 hours every day consuming content. Scrolling, watching, reacting, waiting for the next notification. The second person spends those same 5 hours creating, writing, learning, practicing, building. At the end of one day, there isn't much difference. At the end of 1 month, the difference becomes noticeable. At the end of 1 year, they're living completely different lives. One built skills, the other collected distractions. That's how success works. It doesn't arrive in one dramatic moment. It grows silently, one decision at a time. The truth is, your life is simply the result of what you repeatedly do.